This is unbelievable. This last Monday, just a few days ago, the federal government put some new regulations in place concerning those who are coming into Canada from out of country. They now must quarantine for 3 nights in a government-sanctioned facility, a hotel. So there's this woman who came in from the United States and isolated in Quebec. She was at the hotel 3 nights. A man came into her room and sexually violated her. She called security. It took them more than 15 minutes to finally show up. Unacceptable. When reports got out, of course, we started asking the government about this. Today in question period, Michelle Rempel Garner asked a question of the health minister. The health minister responded by saying this. She said, and I quote, "Every woman deserves to live a life free of violence and a life of dignity." Great statement. She went on to say, but these border measures are in place to protect Canadians. They're in place to protect Canadians? Was the minister listening to the question? Because there was an individual who was kept in one of these facilities who was sexually violated. What happened to her safety? What happened to her security? That is not okay. Before that, the health minister and the deputy prime minister, they were asked about this. And they said at that time, they said this, and I quote again, "People shouldn't travel." That was their response. People shouldn't travel. As if to say that this individual who was sexually violated was somehow at fault. That had she not traveled, it would have been okay. She wouldn't have been put at risk. People just shouldn't travel, according to the deputy prime minister and the health minister. That's so wrong. It's so wrong. What happened to the federal government's duty to protect? If they are going to make it mandatory that individuals coming into this country have to quarantine in one of their designated facilities for 3 nights, then they better make sure that those individuals are kept safe and secure, that they have all of their needs met. And that clearly did not happen in this scenario. As Conservatives, we are calling on the government to suspend the requirement that individuals go and quarantine in these hotels until their safety can be assured. So until that happens, it should not be mandatory. The government has a responsibility to act, and right now, they're choosing to sit on their hands. They say they take this seriously, but talk is cheap. So if they're actually taking this scenario with some degree of certainty, then they need to take immediate action and make sure that those within these hotels are kept safe. We will continue to call on the government to take action. Now, here's what I find interesting, though. Where's the Prime Minister? Why isn't he commenting? I mean, he is a feminist after all, right? So we have a feminist Prime Minister, self-proclaimed, and he is completely silent. Completely. You have a woman who was just sexually violated at a government-sanctioned center where she is required to quarantine. And the Prime Minister cannot do so much as come out of his house, stand on his doorstep, and make a statement. And yet he calls himself a feminist. That's wrong on so many levels. I'm asking you to engage. If this upsets you the way that it upsets me, I'm asking you to reach out and to contact the Prime Minister. I'm asking you to stand up and speak out. Please make your voice heard.